may be a little strained at times.
It could be.
And that we have our leave takings, and that we all have our days numbered, as did Kate. So thank you for coming. Thank you to all of the elements that showed up for this day to look like it does and to be here to celebrate her life. So we're going to drum for a little while. I want to offer a deep word of gratitude and invite Terry up to speak a little bit about the curious little elements of Kate's life.
So, hello, everyone. You've all gotten weird emails from me. I'm Terry, and I welcome you here today to pay tribute to Kate. I had the honor to be one of the people assisting her through her hospitalizations, her passing, and managing her estate. I learned a lot about her and as much about myself. There were a lot of chapters in Kate's life story, and I have a profound appreciation for how she curated her life. If only I could ask her some more questions, because her story was so interesting. For example, Kate, why didn't you legally change your name from Martha to Kate? I had to sign 100 things as Martha, not Kate. And then I connected with her family in Georgia, and they kept calling her Aunt Bot. B-O-T, Aunt Bot. Well, what does that mean? I think her older brother gave her that nickname.
Kate had an ability to hold joy and pain in a way that I don't know too many people can do. She had the ability to be fierce with her no and with her yes. If she wanted something, she fought hard to get it. Even if it was just vitamin C in cherry form instead of 42 other brands that they had, varieties at the store. She wanted cherry, and I brought all these other kinds that didn't work. Until I got cherry, then she had a cup of tea. So we had some good laughs and some good cries. This is a poem by Mary Oliver, who she loved, appreciated. It's called The Uses of Sorrow. Mary Oliver said, "In my sleep I dreamed this poem. Someone I love once gave me a box full of darkness. Someone I love gave me a box full of darkness. It took me years to understand that this too was a gift." Kate knew how to transform her suffering into gifts.
Hold on to the feeling that nothing ends, and yet the sweetness of sorrow that's been talked about earlier, and So all Kate's ancestors. Vicki Anderson made this, and she's in a picture on this cover right here, a dear friend of Kate. So somehow she definitely is a teacher. That I read to Kate a few days toward the end of her life. I know she loved trees. She loved trees. And like without trees, I don't know if we'd be here. So anyway, when I am among the trees, especially the willow, the honey locust, equally the beech, the oaks, they give off such hints of gladness. Even aspens. I am distant from the hope of myself. I am distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the word, but walk slowly and often. Around me the trees stir in their leaves and call out, stay a while, stay a while. Let's stay here for a week. Yeah. Around the trees and their leaves, they call out, stay a while. The light from the branches, they call out again. It's simple, they say. And you too have come into this world to do, to go easy, to be filled with light and to shine. A privilege and a treasure to be here and to see so many people who understood what we've lost. The love of my life was Kate. I met her on one of those dating service things, and I kissed her on the first date. And we just got along like a house on fire. She was a treasure. I kept learning more about her. We had a period of 19 years altogether. I learned what love is, because this one didn't die. This one didn't fade out. I think we've been together about 7 years, and I said, you know, we don't fight. What are we doing wrong? And basically she said, well, I used to fight in my previous relationships, and I decided I don't want to live like that. So I said, wow. So I learned to love her, and like I had never loved anyone else in my life.
I'm Shelley, and I've known Kate solely through the Earth Song Circle, but 30 years worth of knowing her. And I just have 4 words that came to me when I thought of Kate. Fire, independence, resilience, and love. Not the bushy kind of way, strong love. Kate had just gotten the diagnosis of RA, and we were up at FOSS, and I can still see her dancing the reality that she knew was to come. And she was fierce and beautiful and strong and resilient as she continued to be.
Hi, I'm Maureen.
And I'm Jonathan.
I really cherish the times that I got to work with Kate over the years. And Kate was a great partier. She was at a number of our parties and just so fun, and loved to dance, of course, music. And I don't know if she introduced me to Jackie Lawson cards or I introduced her to them, but I love how she always remembered my birthday and all the special occasion days. And I love that she kept in touch in that way.
So Maureen and I, we're physical therapists, and we met Kate. We were working in the same building where she was a therapist, and then we had the pleasure and privilege to actually help to treat her and help her to move as well as she could. And I just loved seeing Kate on my schedule. We had the most wonderful conversations, and what was mentioned before, I think you said this, Terry, Kate taught me you can cry as easily as you can laugh, and it's okay. Just let the little tears out. And the first time it happened, I was like, uh-oh, where's this gonna go? But it passed, and that's something I carry with me always, and many, many other things. She was so resourceful. With all her challenges, she was able to find a way to live her life so fully, more fully than most of the people I know. So, thank you, Kate. Love you, Kate.
I met Kate about 37, 38 years ago, and I was in a lot of trouble. I had lost 25 pounds in a month. Wish I could lose a little of that now, but anyhow, I had huge anxiety, and if you've ever had anxiety, the word doesn't really give you the definition. So anyhow, and it's not something you can turn off. So I didn't know where my life was going or what I was doing, but I couldn't very well do anything to speak of. So I got referred to Kate, and for the next year, the highlight of my week was to see Kate. She had an office in Denver, and we would see each other once a week, and that hour and a half was, special time, and, it really made a big difference in my life. And then obviously somebody that was that good, I kept in my life, and gave her plenty of material. I was married twice, and the first one was okay, the second one was a lot of work. So, but Kate taught me, I grew up Catholic, and I think when you're Catholic you have guilt, and even if you didn't do anything wrong, you think you did. And she finally convinced me, I think, that, it wasn't me, it was something out of my control. And she was always supportive, and she solved an awful lot of problems and issues for me, and allowed me to become, I think, a better person. So I'm gonna miss her. Thank you.
Can you hear me okay? Okay. Hi, Jonathan. My name is Pat. I'm Kate's friend and neighbor. I live across the street from her. She lived on Juniper. I live on the park across the street. And my animals chose Kate for me. I'm happy to tell you. I would be working out in my yard. Kate took daily walks around the park sidewalk, and I would see this lovely woman with beautiful hair walking by, slowly by, and my animals, my dog, my golden retriever would sneak out, and his head would be down, his tail back, and she'd approach Kate, and Kate always had time to pet Gemma, and then my cats went out. Cody and Tink both made their way out, and I would just watch this happen, but I didn't want to block her on her progress on her walk, whoever this woman was, until finally Cody, my cat, was like last straw. She was doing her diet walk in front of my house. I was in the yard, and I just watched this happen. Cody goes out and he plops down in front of her on his back, and so she's, oh, hi, how are you doing, kitty? He's rolling around and just, relishing Kateness, and so finally she spends a long time with him, and then she gets up and she continues on her way, and Cody goes right in front of her and plops down again, and it's like another 3 or 4 minutes of pets, and he's rolling around, and so, okay, and so on she goes on her way, and he circles around and he plops again, and now we're almost at my next door neighbor's house, and I said, oh, for God's sakes, you know. So I went out and I apologized to her. I said, I don't know why my animals are always accosting you on your walks. And she says, oh my God, it makes my day. You know, that's why I come here. And I said, well, can I walk with you? And then we started. When I would see her, we would walk together, and often with the animals in tow, and make our way around. That was about 12 years ago, and I've known her since. After we were all disconnected, kind of torn apart from the pandemic, I checked in with her a few times. She seemed to have people looking in on her. But I had a little get-together on the deck at my house, and Kate was there, and when we could finally reconnect in 21, and it was just a really nice time. She was such a joy, as all of you who know her, just such a lovely, beautiful person. To be in her presence and even to just physically hug and hold her it was just a gift, really, a real gift. I miss her terribly. I miss her sense of humor, especially. Kate by far sent the best memes.
I'm Paul Quinn. I started in therapy with Kate about the same time Steve Gallagher did. So 34 years. I can tell lots of stories, but I'll move on because time is running late. But when Joan and I decided to get married, this wonderful woman sitting here, she asked Bill, a good friend of ours, to be the wedding planner. Well, Bill's a retired Army general, very intense. The next week he gave us a 42-page check. I said, Bill, all you got to do is say I do. Shut up. Here's the check. Well, the day of the wedding was Memorial Day, 21 years this Memorial Day. Bill walked up to me at 5:30 on the dot and says, Paul, it's your guy. I said, Bill, Kate's not here. He said, who the hell's Kate? I said, my therapist. He said, Christ, you invited your therapist to your wedding? He said, I'm done. I'm out of here. You know? So Kate had just called me 2 minutes early. She was lost. She was just blocks away, so I got her there. So my brother ran out, got her in a wheelchair, brought her, and that's when she had the foot surgery. And she was in a cast, and the foot was up. She couldn't. Well, we videotaped the wedding. Our favorite part of the videotape is Kate dancing on the dance floor in her wheelchair, with everybody spinning her around and laughing. And she was the head of the wedding. Nobody knew that. The building knew who she was. I sure did. So we have such great memories of Kate. I stayed with the therapy, and of course we became close friends for the rest of my days. Of course, I miss her greatly. I only saw her once or twice a year, but I just miss her. Not having her there to call, what a use was. For all of them.
Asked to sing a song, and I haven't done this kind of thing in a while where I sing for a birth or a death or a marriage or whatever it is. What I usually do is I get really quiet and I listen for what song wants to be sung. So of course Kate had some ideas. So she showed up. And she wanted a song that was for all of you. She didn't want a song that was just about her and her passing. She wanted it to be a gift for all of you. So I'm going to sing this little one. And there's a little call and response section that you'll get to participate in if you're inspired to do so. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Wo-ya-ya, 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 we are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was a day that I was over visiting Kate, and Terry was doing her heavy lifting. And Kate said, I think Terry asked, Kate, what would you like us, anything from your place that we can bring over for you? And the thing about our life kind of converging on its end is that what we have and what we have accumulated starts to mean less and less, and those things that matter sometimes surprise us. And she asked Terry if Terry could find a book called Miss Pickerel Goes to Mars. And Terry found it and brought it over, and she had tears in her eyes when the book came in. So I was curious about this sacred text that called to Kate in her last days. And beautifully, Lorraine found a copy of Miss Pickerel Goes to Mars. Kate would have been 6 years old when this was written. And this story of an atmosphere and what happens when we go to space. And I'm thinking of the 6-year-olds being born now, who's 6 now, and the impact of what Mars is now. And somehow Kate had this uncanny capacity to weave mystery, adventure, suspicion, ferocity, shock. And this story of Miss Pickerel, who loves her cow a lot and carries her cow on a red beat-up trailer behind her beat-up car, is not afraid to break some of the rules, ends up on the trip to Mars in the back part of her meadow with the mystery spaceship. And I just think about Kate's need for adventure and her capacity for adventure. And I think she's flying high, and I'm grateful for that. And for what she leaves behind in my life, lifting my soul. Thank you for Jyoti's poem. That's beautiful, beautiful calling forward of our soul. And I think she would want to say, don't stop the adventure. It takes a village, and we need the village, so don't stop. And it's worth a curious read. Miss Pickerel Goes to Mars.
I'm Lorraine, and I was blessed to be part of the circle that was with Kate in the last days. And but it was that tenacity. Even though, but then we saw it all through her life. That she still held this joy. And when you look at these pictures, you see how much joy is in Kate's face in so many of those pictures, and the light in her face. And she carried that until the very last day. And then it was poof, I'm done. And it just was so much of a metaphor for her life. And one of the songs that we sung, which Kakuni was wanting to bring, but we're going to all sing it together, Kakuni. And with Mary leading us. Mary, who sung at our wedding 30 years ago. We love that you're here for these poignant moments. And it just speaks to the love and the joy that we all are feeling, and the flying kites around us. Just sing with me. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to that land on God's celestial shore. Oh, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away in the morning, children. I'll fly away. Oh, when I die, hallelujah, by and by. Oh, I'll fly away. So delicate. It wouldn't be nice to disturb them. Powers of the North. Aho! Aho! Thank you for being with us, for every voice we've heard, every heart we've heard speaking. Powers of the North, thank you.
thank you for watching over us. Thank you for coming together. We release you from this place and take you with us in our hearts always. Powers of the West, we called and you answered. You helped us face the truth of our loss, the truth of the glory, the glorious force within us, of the memories of our life and the gifts we have received. Powers of the West, thank you for being with us, each and every one of us, all of us together. We release you from this place. We carry you with us always in our hearts. Aho! Energies of the South, bright vibrance of life. Thank you. We have cherished knowings of Kate's life, things that none of us each could have imagined, but all of us together have shared. We know there's more great powers of fertility and life force. May we discover more about our dear friend as we go forth in our lives. Thank you, powers of the South, for being with us. We release you from this place. We carry you with us always in our hearts. Powers of the East, we say farewell. Thank you for your initiatory excitement that brought us all together to begin this memorializing together today. We carry you with us in our hearts, in our beings, always. We release you from this place. Great below, always here, holding us, grounding us, helping us be with the gravity of this world. Thank you for that, for your presence. Thank you for holding us. We release you from this place. We walk with you always. Great above, possibilities. We thank you for shining down on us, for being dark and full of stars and helping us to imagine what isn't yet. Powers of the above, we release you from this place and this time of us together. We carry you with us. You carry us with you always. Farewell. And that center place within each of us that holds the grandeur, the unnameable, that we are always immersed in awe. We honor you. We thank you for being with us together this day. We release you and we go forward with you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
Just sing with me. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to that land on God's celestial shore. Oh, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away in the morning, children. I'll fly away. Oh, when I die, hallelujah.